Good evening. It's late when I'm doing this one. I'm just getting in from finishing up my house. Got the painter pretty much has to just put the covers back on. And talking about pressure and magnetism. So I got the grass cut at the house, and yeah, I got a couple things I'm gonna talk about, which is those two words, and then I'm gonna talk about just what the thing I did. So clearly, that's what I'm doing. It's the end of the day, and taking a bus. Got back in just now. It's late, so tomorrow's gonna be the same thing. Finishing up the bushes, getting the bushes cut, and then also I was thinking about this guy. He had a company. He started for like 2,000. Started with $2,000, exited at 23 million. And the reason he said he couldn't get it from 40 million in revenue to 100 million in revenue was because he really had a lot of attachments to his management team. And after he had fired himself as CEO, he had brought in a new CEO. He said, but if he would have had to replace his entire management team to take it to 100 million. And I'm realizing like he didn't have the social circle outside of his job to balance or counteract his internal workings at his job or at his business, which he created, to not feel like he had to have so much over control to these people at his enterprise. So he could have felt better about letting them go and keeping them as his friends than about having to not being able to let them go as friends, and then also not being able to grow his business to what he felt like its real potential was 100 million. So that's important for me when I'm building my social circle, is to remember that people come and go, and to balance that with my actual job and career, because they can move in and out of the different spheres. But when they are in one sphere, they need to be there for the designated time that they're there, whether it's career or whether it's social. But it needs to be intentional. So if I need to fire somebody to grow my business, I should do it, including myself. So that brings me, on that note, that brings me to the other two words, pressure and magnetism. So what's pressure? Pressure it's that feeling where, okay, it's a feeling, right? So you feel pressure is usually from the outside. Sometimes it's from the inside. If it's from the inside, it would be like, I'm just thinking about it from the outside right now. Sometimes it could be other people. It could be people like repeatedly saying the same thing over and over. Or it could be, well, you say the same thing over and over on person. Or it could be in person. There's a couple different body language components where you're either standing close to them or you're saying, I hear what you're saying. However, we're going this direction. And so you don't let people get a chance to rebuttal. You really just bear down on, you're not going to have, this is a conversation, but I've heard enough of what you said to know that you don't need to say anything else. I'm going to just keep repeating what I said, because that's the direction, and then pressuring them to do it, whatever it is, if it's going somewhere or if it's taking this course of action or not taking a course of action to come back. And usually it's, a lot of people think of it as peer pressure, but usually that's because there's multiple voices saying do this or do that. But if it's a one-on-one person, person to person, you can be just saying it multiple times, saying it different ways at the same time. No. Saying the same thing different times. Yeah. And That's what I got. So after that, there's magnitude or magnetism. So magnetism is more of a physical, in-person type of these, where, like, as a leader, people move because of leadership, and that always comes with its own level of magnetism. So whether it's a video people see, well, usually it's in person, as far as I can describe right now, because it leaves people, yeah, and nobody wants to be left. So when people are left, they feel an empty space, which, if they can fill that empty space by moving closer or not feeling left, they'll push inwards, or they'll move in the direction of the magnetism. So, like, let's say you're walking through a door. The picture in my mind is I'm walking through a door. If I have a certain amount of magnetism that I know about myself, I'll time it to where, as I step through the door, it makes the person who hasn't stepped through the door feel as if they've lost out on something and want to then step into the door, step through the door as well. And that kind of sounds, I'm listening to it, it sounds like not real. It is. Or like personal magnetism, to where you're listening to somebody in a conversation, but you're adding in, or you're starting, or you're cutting them off, or you're rebuttaling at just in the moment, to where they feel as if they've not given you enough of what they wanted to give you. And that causes them to want to give you more. And so I had a realization too as well, that before now, I've been wanting to give to people so that they will give to me, so I can give to them. So in that case, I'm thinking about, if I have a job for somebody, I'm like, hey, look, man, I'm ready to give you this money to do for doing the job, but they haven't done the job. And so in a sense, I'm saying I want to give you this power before you're finished, so you can give me the finished product. However, that is wrong, because I'm saying I want to give them something to send for them to give me something, so that way I can get what I want, which is what they were already going to give me. And that's wrong to do that, because I've given enough. If I give somebody money to work on my car, and no. If I hire somebody to work on my car and I feel like I want them to finish faster, I shouldn't give them more money. I've already given them the opportunity. And so what I've been doing, the wrong part is, I've been giving to people for them to give to me, so I can get more from them. But I don't need to give them more. They need to give me more, so I can finish giving them. So I'm over giving to people, and I should not do that, because people will take, because I'm not actually giving somebody. I'm loaning them on credit. I'm giving them a credit, and then I'm giving them more credit than they've earned or deserve, and then they fail because they don't have the capacity. So what I should do, and what I'm doing now, is to say, hey, look, if this is the job, you haven't finished, even if it's 98% complete, if you're not finished, I cannot give you anything until that 2% is finished. And then, which means that 2% is you have given me your work, your service, your labor, whatever it is, your involvement, for then me to say you're finished, and I know you're finished, where you know you're finished, and then I can move on to give you what I want to give you. I want to give you this. However, I can't give it to you until you've given me what I actually want, which is the finished service or whatever it is. Because I actually don't want to give you the money. I just want to give you the money. Pause. I actually don't want to give you the money. I want to give you the money so you'll give me what I want faster, which is rushing, which is impatient, which is giving my power away in anticipation of getting more power, which never happens.